Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a beautiful day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your comments, and thank you for your thumbs up. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. And today I'm talking about the state of Black America under Trump. And you know that you're not going to get panic and you're not going to get fear from me. You're going to get clarity from me. So let's look at the clarity. When you look at the voting rights, the economy, global instability, and the political climate, one thing becomes obvious. Black America is carrying the weight of the moment with more awareness and less illusion than ever before, which means that we're looking at the real deal. We're not making it up, we're not sugarcoating it, we're looking at the real thing, and that's clarity. Let's start with democracy because everything else flows from that. Over the last decade and continuing through the Trump era, the Voting Rights Act has been weakened through court decisions and state level laws. These changes don't say Black people can't vote. They say fewer polling places, stricter ID rules, more voter roll purges, which means they're taking as many people off the voting rolls as they can, as many Black people, with all kinds of flimsy things like you're dead when you're not really dead, or you had a fine that you didn't pay, or just any frivolous thing to keep you from voting. And then they reduced early voting. And last but not least, the district maps that dilute Black political power. So the state of Black America politically is this. We still have the right to vote, but the path to using that right is being narrowed. And yet Black voters are more politically clear-eyed than ever, less emotional, less manipulated, less willing to be used as political props. That clarity is power. See, Black people didn't panic when they changed these Southern maps, gerrymandered the states, is what they did, to remove the Black representatives. And they did not remove one of the ones from Alabama, which shocked me because some of the Republicans wanted to eliminate Terry Sewell's Selma district too. But they did not eliminate her district yet. Yet and still, Black people are not panicking over this because we have been through this before. And whenever you have to cheat to win, you have lost because that's cheating. That is cheating, trying to rob one group of people their political voice so you can win. And that's what it comes down to. Economically, Black America is living through a moment where inflation hits harder, wages lag behind, housing costs rise, and wealth gaps widen. Public programs face cuts or uncertainty. When the economy shakes, Black households feel it first and recover last. And when voting rights weaken, the ability to influence economic policy weakens too. That's why the state of Black America economically is resilient but carrying more weight with fewer protections. Let me tell you something. Those protections have never really been in place for Black people. Black people have had to make their own way anyway. These little protections that Black people have that they say they give us, those things don't hold up. We have to get it out the mud. We have to make something out of nothing. We have to have grit. We have to have resilience. And we have to be determined not to fail because there's nobody there to prop us up, and there never has been. We have to keep on going anyway. But that's our strength. That is our strength. And that is what we will continue to do, whether we have one Black representative in the Congress, whether we have 20 or whether we have none. We still have to get out there and hit for ourselves. And that's what we have always done. And that's what we know how to do. And we have to deal with the wars that America are in and global instability just like everybody else. The Iran conflict, global instability, And rising geopolitical tensions affect Black Americans in a very specific way. But Black Americans are saying, we didn't start this war, we don't control this war, and we're not going to be the emotional fuel for this war. We don't have a problem with Iran. We don't even know what the war is for or what this war is about. Still, the economic effects land with higher prices, unstable markets. So Donald Trump has taken money out of Medicaid, out of the SNAP program, out of the school lunch program, out of many of the programs that would actually help us to increase the military budget so he can continue these wars. So Black America is not emotionally invested in foreign conflict, but we are economically exposed to it. So the state of Black America in wartime is watching carefully, refusing to be used, and refusing to be the face of someone else's agenda. We don't want our face attached to these wars because these people in other countries have a right to run their countries the way they want to without interference from us. Now, that's how I feel, and I think that's how a lot of Black Americans feel. Now, here's Vicky. The Trump era has amplified racial tensions in ways the world can see. There's harsher rhetoric, there are louder extremist groups, there's more public hostility, and there's more political polarization. But here's the part people don't talk about. Black Americans are not shocked by any of this. We are not confused by any of this. And we are not losing our minds over any of this. We've seen this country cycle through racial backlash before. This moment is not new, it's just louder. They're trying to make it seem like this is brand new. It's not. We've been through this before, and every time something like this happens, like this moment that we're in now, I think about our ancestors. And I can see them looking down on us and saying, it's going to be all right, just keep on going. So instead of panicking, we're becoming more strategic, more emotionally disciplined, and more selective about where we put our energy because our ancestors are watching. Now, that is not a literal sentence. Our ancestors are dead, so they are not watching. That is a metaphor, it is a symbolic meaning, which means you should respect the legacy that you have inherited, and you shouldn't panic every time these people that you know do something that you don't like. The world is watching how America treats Black Americans, and that shapes how the world views the United States. When racial tensions rise, when voting rights weaken, when political rhetoric turns hostile, other nations say if America wants to lead globally, it must show equality at home. So the state of Black America is directly tied to America's global reputation. Black America is not just a domestic issue. We are part of the country's international credibility. Because the one place where Black America remains undefeated is our culture. Even in a tense political climate, Black culture remains the most powerful cultural force in the United States in music, fashion, sports, language, and social movements. Now, the language is what shocks me. This language has been studied and studied and studied. And the linguists, the people who really study language, say that African American vernacular English, and some people want to say Black American vernacular English, is a sophisticated form of speaking. Black Americans have come up with our own style of English. For everybody who's concerned, we speak a form of English, okay? The white man's language that we have made our own. And sometimes he adopts our style of speaking, and sometimes we adopt his style of speaking. See how that works? For all of those concerned. Black America continues to shape the world's imagination even when the country struggles to protect our rights. That cultural influence is a form of power no administration can erase. So, the bottom line is the state of Black America is clarity. And where do we stand? Politically, we are targeted, but we are aware of that. Economically, we are pressured, but we are resilient. Socially, we are challenged, but unbroken. And globally, we are visible and influential. Emotionally, we are calm, strategic, and refusing to be manipulated. And I hope the Democrats are listening to that. The state of Black America under Trump is not defined by fear, it is defined by clarity. Now, they want us to be scared, and they are surprised that we are not scared and we are not falling apart. And we should continue to be calm and emotionally disciplined because we have been through this before. Black America has survived every version of this country. We have adapted to every political era. We have outlasted every attempt to silence or sideline us. The state of Black America today is not hopeless. It is aware, awake, and unwilling to be used. And that is its own form of strength. Okay, y'all, thank you for listening and have a great day.